Welcome to the teaching of Isaac. Unfortunately, this is not the true 13th episode. Before this video, I randomed both Apollyon and Cain for 2 separate episodes. However, my screen capturing software resulted in this. Both episodes have been lost to the void, and now it's time to move on. I did succeed on both runs, and for this episode, I randomed Eve once again. Because of those 2 missing episodes, I didn't technically random Eve twice in a row. Now, I still have never been the Forgotten yet. I haven't randomed him quite yet. We'll get to him someday, but for now, we're going to start with Eve. I recommend, if you haven't done so already, play through the greed mode until you unlock the razor blade. Now you can easily get away without it, but it makes your runs much easier to manage. That way you have a little more control on when to transform. Otherwise, what you have to worry about is things like half hearts or full hearts that are on the field, and potentially picking them up could have you transform back into regular Eve. Since as long as you have a full heart or less with Eve, you will be transformed. Now that room is a bit dangerous, so I didn't quite use my razor blade there. I mean, I could stay transformed immediately, but on the first floor I have no risk of losing a devil deal, so I intend on using the razor blade only when needed. Now, if this was level 2, then it'd probably be a better idea for me to use the razor blade immediately. That way, I'll be stronger and fight off enemies a little bit better, and prevent myself from losing that devil deal. But here's the thing. One super troll bomb can ruin your entire day, and you'll just die in one hit. So, there is risk involved. And that's part of the reason why, for the moment, I'm not going to use the razor blade. But as you can see, these fights are lasting a long time. Eve is the weakest character if you don't use her transformation. Also doesn't help that these little monsters are bouncing around like crazy. This item works very weird. It's the crow heart. And it's by itself it does nothing. But if you have a soul heart, when you get damaged, it's going to take a regular heart instead. Now, the reason why I dislike this item is if you get damaged and the devil room has not spawned yet, even if you have some soul hearts, it'll skip the soul heart and your heart will be damaged and you'll lose your devil deal chance. It's only beneficial after you've got the devil deal, but then what's the point really? So there aren't very many circumstances where the crow heart is of benefit. I'm just holding on to it right now because I don't even have any soul hearts, and sometimes you might be able to get an item that can let you reroll pickups in the room. Like for example, Ace of Bombs. I'll say this probably every video, but on level 1, I pretty much always destroy all the poops and all the flames. Because on level 2, if you have 5 coins at least, then you'll have a chance of getting the arcade. You also may notice that coin has a green shimmer on it, and that signifies it's a lucky coin. Yo, listen! Obviously a spin-off of Hey Listen. But anyway, he will help point you to the secret rooms, also tinted rocks, also crawl spaces. You don't see the crawl spaces very often though. Problem is I have no bombs. I also still have yet to find a soul heart, so I'm getting a little uncomfortable. Well, we can see the Yo Listen has found the super secret room as well. Not that I could do anything about that at the moment. Kind of a hard first boss. So it's a spin-off of Gemini. And the problem though is the little dude is not attached. If he wants, he can escape and just start attacking me. So potentially I might end up using the razor blade during this fight. In fact, I intend on using it right when he splits. So activate the dead bird as well. So that'll kind of help lighten the load. But you see how I keep circling? That's the safest strategy. But don't do what I did and approach him when he's about to die. He blew up and I could have been hit. Little Steven's a pretty good familiar since he has homing tears. Now, I'm not sure if there's anything left on this level, but I still don't have any bombs or soul hearts. There is a curse room, however. Now, I can go in this cursed room, but I have to be careful not to get hit. Because if I take too much damage, I'm not going to make it out alive. But I really need some soul hearts. So let me check down here really fast. I think I already did this, however. I did. Okay. I'm going to go for it. Now assume that there are troll bombs here, because there almost always are. Now what I could have done is I could have shot them into the wall potentially. However, I was anticipating super troll bombs, which would have ruined my run entirely. So I didn't want to take that risk and try attacking it. I wanted to run away right when I opened the chests. So this is not the ideal scenario. I don't even have enough money to buy a soul heart unless it's magically on sale. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to gamble for that exact reason. Nope, I just wasted a key. So, let's face it, I'm not going to get what I want. It's time to move on. Now the cellar's a harder variant of the basement. There's spiders everywhere, they move erratically, so this is not the level I want to be on without a soul heart. But, it is what it is. I'm going to drop the crow heart just in case I forget about it. I don't want to lose a heart when I have a soul heart and lose my devil deal chance. This room is not risky to me. It's got a wide open space and all it has is poops. So I'm not going to use the razor blade along with losing my heart yet. I don't need that damage boost for these poops. Still, you don't want to underestimate him. You saw how it charged me at really quick speeds. Gotta be careful still. These enemies run away. There's a lot of spiders, but they shouldn't come after me. As long as I hold strong, I think I'll be okay. There is also a lovely tinted rock there, but I still have no means of opening it. You saw how fast he flew? That was crazy. But here we go. I finally got a bomb. Can it be a tinted, or can it be a soul heart? It is. No need to fight those spiders. I just ran away. Now I have some cushion to use the razor blade. Now there's a door here. I could have bombed it and got something in there, but soul heart was the highest priority. I also make sure to destroy all the TNT barrels, since it could contain a burnt penny trinket. Now keep your distance from these headless guys. It looks like they're not really shooting their bullets far, but when you least expect it, they'll suddenly shoot out and attack you. Right, so I can use the razor blade, but still, these rooms are a little bit easy. I want to make sure I capitalize on the damage boost on the razor blade as well. So I'm probably going to end up using it here. No, it's just another room full of poops. It's going to be a little time consuming, but in the end, it's worth it to do it right the first time, because sometimes there is no second time. Sometimes you just die due to your mistakes. In fact, that's the Binding of Isaac in a nutshell. Dying to your mistakes. Now look at Yo Listen. It's hovering over that rock, but it's not even a tinted rock. That tells me that's the crawl space. Now I really need some more bombs. They're giving me more things to bomb than I can. I'm going to keep these exploding guys around for a little longer. They could potentially blow up these urns and give me some coins out of the deal. But it is a little risky, and there's only one left now. I think they killed each other, so I'm just going to take them out. Okay, another bomb. Now the question is, do I bomb for the crawl space or the secret room? Crawl spaces are a lot rarer, so I'm going to go ahead and go for that. Now, I unfortunately do not think I can reach the chest and the crawl space simultaneously, so I'm just going to go ahead and blow this up. There it is. Now let's hope for a black market. No black market. Did get Bob's head, but overall I'm pretty disappointed. Now I can still use this, however. Okay, that was pretty lucrative. So what I'm going to do now... Well, I still haven't used the razor blade. I think I'm going to save it for the boss unless there's a harder room. I also want to save I want to hold on to Bob's rotten head and start clearing rooms to get it to recharge. That way I don't have to cost a bomb. But the boss can be really scary on the cellar sometimes. It might even be the haunt. So I'm going to just hold on to the razor blade to the boss. It's my plan. This item is pretty depressing because it's depression. But really, it's pretty mediocre. It's a little cloud that follows you and it leaves behind a little stream. It deals minor damage. It's okay. Okay, there we have another secret room. Looks like I'm not going to get a chance to charge Bob's rotten head, but I'm going to play it safe. Now, I did forget about the whole obliterating your enemy with lightning type move that Depression did. I don't remember exactly what triggers that. I think they might have to be under the rain cloud while you attack it. I'm not 100% sure about it, but that circumstance doesn't come up so often. Okay, it's time for the boss. I'm going to use the razor blade. Please not the haunt. It's everybody's favorite boss, Pin. I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the razor blade now. Just get it over with. Just never stay in the middle. Just hover around the edges. I'm going to take this in case I can get a good devil deal with it. That is not a good devil deal. Now I could just take it just so I can make sure I get devil deals from now on, because I do want to lose my health in the end. But this is just awful. This is only an item if you want to speed run or just get through some levels quickly because you're impatient. But if you've watched this series, you know I have patience. So the question is, do I want to grab it so I get devil deals, or do I want to not worry about it, save a heart, and then get angel deals from now on? Or potential angel deals. Now, I may not always have the razor blade. Potentially, I could find something better to replace it with. And therefore, I'll be missing... Well, I'll have all these bonus hearts that I can't get rid of if I don't have the razor blade anymore. So I probably should take this just to lower my heart count. That way, once I have 1 heart or less, then I can safely get rid of the razor blade and not worry about it. So I'm going to do just that. Goodbye. Unfortunately, that negates the HP up, but at least from now on, I'll get nothing but devil rooms, and I can get rid of my hearts as fast as possible, since Eve doesn't really need them. Right, I forgot to grab Bob's rotten head, but it's too late now. It's not going to have enough charge, so I'm going to have to manually blow up these walls. Okay, he's got coins in his eyes, so I'm going to blow him up. Get myself a nickel. It's not guaranteed, but it does drop most of the time. I also want to show you something cool with the crow heart now. It's finally something that I can do that'll actually help me. Now, normally what I do is I'd use the razor blade, then run through. That way I don't lose a soul heart. But with the crow heart, now that I've already gotten the devil deal, I can walk through here and not worry about losing my devil deal chance. Now lastly, I am going to blow this up in hopes of getting a soul heart. Perfect. And we got some mystery pills. Great, and during that process I didn't lose any soul hearts at all. So now, I'm going to grab Bob's rotten head. What I'm going to be doing is pretty much milking my items. I mean, I don't have to do this. It's a little overkill, but I've said in the past, and it's happened to me before, the littlest of actions can sometimes result in you winning or dying in this game. So I'm going to find the super secret room, and I'm going to blow a hole in it. And with the Bob's rotten head, that'll save me 1 bomb. Okay, we got some more health here. Now what would be cool is if this blue pill I have is hematemesis, it would drop some hearts on the floor. And they would turn into eternal hearts because of this special room.
Luck down.
But it wasn't meant to be this time. Now finally, there's 2 rooms here. That one requires 1 key. And I think the other one requires 1 key as well. If that's the case, that means that one of these rooms is the library. No, that requires 2 keys. But here's the thing. You never want to go the next level unless you have at least 1 key on you. You're not always lucky. You don't always get a key every level. And that would mean I could miss the treasure room if I do that, if I forget to bring a key with me. So it's time to cut my losses. Grab the razor blade because it's more helpful, and then when I move on to the next level, I'm going to drop the crow heart. I think I forgot a pill. No, I used it to luck down. Okay, drop the crow heart. Don't want to lose my devil deal chance. I don't like these guys. These are probably the hardest cave enemy in the game, in my opinion. Because they get in your face, they teleport around, and then when you kill them, they blow up in all directions. It's just horrible. And half the time, they're appearing in a really tiny room, so there's nothing you can do about it. Sure, let's do it. That worm there, it messes with your tears. It makes them shoot in a very erratic pattern. And to me, it's not beneficial in any way. Now you may notice I've been dealing damage to these worms while they're in their hole. Sometimes they go underground and you can still hit them for just a couple seconds. Well, I guess a couple seconds is being a little bit too, well, it's more like a couple milliseconds, but regardless, you can have some time to attack them while they're in the ground and get a couple hits in. Now that green one, I know from experience that he's going to blow up once you kill him. Because they have a slightly different face appearance to them. Normally I look for like a red little tint to their skin color, and that'll tell me they're going to explode when you attack them. Or when you kill them, rather. That one was a champion though, so you could not see the red tint. I'm going to wait before going to this secret room. I only have one bomb, and soul hearts are what I need. I'm hoping that'll find tinted rock. This is the broken Ankh, or Ankh, I'm not quite sure, but either way, what that does is if you die, you respawn as the blue baby. If you're lucky. The odds are very low. So never rely on that trinket, that is a last resort. This item is dangerous, but it can also be very helpful. The D8 will reroll your stats. Now what I like about it is it can help your tiers go beyond the threshold of maximum speed. The fastest tier rate is 5 unless you have certain items that can allow you to go beyond that point. The D8 is one of them. Now the downside though is it can also cap your maximum speed. It can make it lower. And if I'm unlucky, it might even give me less damage. Or even slower tiers, and my tiers are already terrible. Using this is a gamble, plain and simple. However, there is a battery here. I'm hoping for a tiers down and a damage up. I got it. In fact, my stats are awesome now. There's one exception though. My tier range is rather small. In fact, that's pretty dangerous. I really wish I could keep these stats, but I'm going to have to reroll again. Horrible. My tier speed is practically twice as slow now. I got my range, but at what cost? Now I'm going to have to hold on to this item and hope that I get a good reroll at some point. Sometimes there's a battery in there. That's why I decided to go ahead and blow it up. Plus I got some extra bombs now. Now the most optimum strategy is for me to wait before grabbing this battery. I could grab it now, but I already have one charge. That would go to waste. So I'm going to try to withstand 3 more rooms, re-roll, and go back for the battery if I need to. Be sure you ignore the fat bat. They take way too long to kill. You're better off attacking the lesser foes. Unless he's totally blocking your path and you have no choice. The good news is I deal a lot of damage. But when your tier rate is this low, it kind of makes up for it. I want to explain a gameplay mechanic behind the scenes here. Look at Yo Listen. Yo Listen is freaking out, looking at the spot. Yo Listen is telling me there's a crawl space there. It's irrelevant though. Crawl spaces can only appear when they're inside rocks or skulls or mushrooms or destructibles like that. So although there's technically a crawl space here, there's no rock on top of it. Therefore, you are not able to make the crawl space appear this way. So ignore Yo Listen. That's where the crawl space is. There is no other crawl space. There's only one per level if there is one. So it's time to move on. Okay, give me those tears. Come on. I got my tears. I kind of equalized a little bit. Question is, do I want to keep gambling or should I cut my losses? My range is pretty short, but the thing is, if my range was any longer, range up items would be totally useless to me. So I'm going to cut my losses. I'm just going to stop right now. In case something terrible happens though, since I don't need the razor blade at this moment, I'm going to hang on to this die until further notice. Another battery. It's really tempting. And thank you, Yo Listen. You found the crawl, or not the crawl space, but the tinted rock. There is also a super secret room in the same room. Alright, we got some mystery pills. I'll wait until the end of the level before I do anything with that. Now, I decided to run to the left side because the top is safe technically, but there wasn't much room. There was not much room for me to maneuver in, so that was way too dangerous. The terrain is surprisingly important in this game. It can make you or break you. So when you're about to do a dodge, you need to first of all confirm ahead of time if there's a pit blocking your path. So you need to anticipate the person's movement and then make sure you have some room to actually dodge when you need to. If there's no room to dodge, then get out of there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a full heart and the razor blade, and then I'm going to utilize that during the boss fight. Every time you stab yourself with the razor blade for that specific room, you deal bonus damage. You can actually use it multiple times per room as well, but I only have 2 heart containers. So if I were to stab myself an extra time, I'd actually lose my soul heart. Right, I still need to pick up a heart though. So without my transformation, my damage is pretty much on par with Isaac, with no damage ups. Alright, here we go. Grody Jr. is very hard boss, bounces everywhere, especially the champion variant. There's 2 of them bouncing everywhere. Try to take out one as fast as possible before they become a problem. Thanks to my damage, I did exactly that. I already have plenty of speed, but I'm lacking options, so I'll take it. just about capped. Now I may as well have max speed. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, I'm going to pop some mystery pills. I'm going to give myself some space in case it's explosive diarrhea.
Bombs are.
Okay, that's alright with me. I needed some more keys anyway. Now if I disagreed with that decision, I could just use the bombs or key again and get myself back to where I was. Perfect. Tears Up is awesome. It's the pill that I always look for, but you got to go through a lot of garbage sometimes to get it. Pretty Fly is another amazing one. You can have 3 of these orbitals, and that'll protect you from a lot of shots.
Infested?
And lastly, Infested with a question mark. The more enemies in the room, the more bonus spiders you'll get when you use it. There were no spiders in that room though, or no enemies rather. So all it did for me was spawn 2 spiders. At least a compilation prize. And look, the crow heart gets a little more love. Gonna go through. And one more time. Didn't lose a single soul heart. I could keep this with me, but the odds of resurrecting as the blue baby is abysmal. So I'm better off just piggybacking the crow heart into each new floor that I go to until I find a better trinket. So this is on sale. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but it's cheap and maybe in the future I can capitalize on it. That's kind of like how a real sale is. You get coaxed into buying something, going, maybe I'll need this in the future. Well, they suckered me this time too. Now, I'm having trouble deciding. I could go back for the deck of cards and potentially get some nice cards, but then I'm going to be exposed. If I pick up too many hearts, or if I grab an HP up, then I'm not going to be able to use the razor blade to stab myself anymore. And then I'll lose my transformation. Come to think of it though, the crow heart would actually help deter that. Instead of using the razor blade, I could keep the crow heart with me on each floor, and that would allow me to, without risk, lose health. Okay, the crow heart is starting to grow on me a little bit. I'll do it. Let's take this. Now, since I can only hold one item at a time, I'm actually going to use this card on the next floor. Now, there is a battery here. I can grab it. It's a little bit risky. I am pretty confident in my ability, though. Although, there's a way I can avoid this, actually. Let me show you. So what I'm going to do... I don't need him. I can't use him right now. I have no money to give him, so I'm going to blow him up. Now I may as well take advantage of my bombs. I could put it right in between and get the battery. And blow him up and get some coins, of course. I could have squeezed my way through here, but there's still risk involved and I don't have as much health as I feel comfortable doing that. The Magician is a pretty underwhelming card. It just gives you homing tears and they're not that strong. They hardly lock onto your opponents. This room's pretty nasty. I'm glad I got all this bonus speed, but I'm also painting myself into a corner. If I didn't have all that bonus damage, I would have been trapped. I would have been better off probably continuing to move. That way they don't all bunch up and trap me. But this time I got away with it. I didn't see the extra button right in front of me. Never push 2 buttons at once. Push one, finish off the monsters or see what it does, and then push the other. Otherwise, you'll get 2 sets of monsters sometimes. I also need to make sure I drop my crow heart. I know I have no hearts to lose right now, but I think there's still a chance I could lose a Devil Deal chance from getting hit. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I don't want to lose that chance anyway, so it's good just to be on the safe side to drop that. I'm going to wait before I grab that battery. So I got 3 charges, don't want to waste those.
Justice.
The Justice, it's an okay card. It helps you a little bit. It gives you a bunch of goodies. Sometimes it might be an Eternal Heart though, which is what or Eternal Heart or a Soul Heart, which is more of what I'm aiming for. And this is Bob's Curse. It just makes your bombs poisonous. I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll find an item I can use to re-roll. I believe my deck of cards could even give me a re-rolling item, like the Dice Shard, potentially, or the Perthrow Rune. Yeah, the caves are really deadly. There's not much room to maneuver. You just got to keep practicing. When I first started playing, I would never get past the caves. They would just destroy me. At least when I played the original Binding of Isaac. All you can really do is just keep playing, keep practicing. You'll get there. Right, I was tempted to blow this up, but I've already found my way in from a different side. I'm going to save Explosive Diarrhea. I can use it and blow up some mushrooms. I could blow up these 4, but I'm going to wait for a room with more mushrooms. I can't afford any items, but with Eve, Soul Hearts are very important. So that's what I'm aiming for. Alright, this is a scenario where I'm going to capitalize on the donation machine. So I'm going to place my bomb right here. Get the nickel, get some coins out of the donation machine, which I've banked up. I'm going to buy the piggy bank, the Soul Heart, and then I'm going to re-donate my coins back. Alright, I donated a little bit too much. Sometimes the donation machine can't handle it. But that allowed me to get everything and give back to it. If I'm having a really horrible run, then I won't donate the money back. I'll just take it all. There's still more room to clear. There's more than 5 rooms, so I still need to wait before using this battery. For this room, it's a common room. Stay on the edges. You want to make sure you give yourself maximum distance, so that way you have plenty of room to dodge, but still enough room to hit the enemies. Unfortunately, my range is not the best. I'm going to have to get in there at some point. And I'm not really showcasing my most extravagant dodging skills here, but regardless, stay on the edge. By the way, if I didn't mention, the piggy bank gives you a little bit of money when you buy it, but also when you get hit, you drop some coins. Ultra Pride. 2 Edmund McMillans. Ah! They're puking at me. That's the risk of being to the side of them. Problem is there's two of them. It's hard not to be on the side. They're really dangerous. So this is the child's leash. It keeps your familiars a little bit closer to you. Gives you a little more control. So if you have a lot of them, it makes it easier to manage. The left hand converts all regular chests, or rather converts all chests into red chests. Now what I should have done, instead of dealing with this brown chest, I should have left it, grabbed the left hand, walk out of the room, and come back. That brown chest would then be red. So I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to leave this on the ground. That way I can control what chests turn into red chests. Because if it was a gold chest, I'd rather that stay gold, because I have plenty of keys to spare. Great. So I want this golden bomb. You gotta form a bridge in order to grab it. Now I can blow up as many mushrooms as I want, and I don't lose any bombs. One thing I forget about the golden bomb, though, is I could use it on enemies, too. Ace of Diamond converts pickups into coins. So I'm a little afraid to fight bosses on the caves 2 and 1. There is a chance it could be a Mega Maw and a Mega Fatty, and they're both champion variants, which will make you lose a full heart when you take damage. It's something I warn everybody in all my videos, mostly because I've been burned by it more than once. Lots of batteries. I'm liking this. So let's use some. Here we go. Hangman. The Fool. Right, there's another battery here. The World. I think I might save that for next floor, potentially. One more battery. The Chariot. So there's no cursed room, so I can't go through it and use the crow heart. There is a key here. I have infinite bombs now, so I may as well go grab that. Starting to look like I'm going to have to pick up this, but I'm still going to hold out to the end. Especially since I still have not opened the super secret room. And that has a pretty good, well, it has a chance of getting some runes in the super secret room, which might contain per throw, which will re-roll my item. While I'm at it, may as well get these mushrooms too and form a bridge. There is a small chance you can get a magic mushroom out of one of these mushrooms. And that item is a game changer. It boosts nearly all your stats. Another mystery. I'm gonna wait until I clear the level first. And the reason why I wait for the end of the level is in case there's something like amnesia. That way I can keep track of all the items on the map. Hey, more pills. Okay. A lot of pills here. I'll be back. Now this room is a little bit glitchy. If you get a 100% chance of the devil room, sometimes you don't even get it. This is also a champion variant of Gertie. He just summons monsters, or rather she just summons monsters over and over again. Pretty easy. Easier than the regular Gertie. Lucky for me, it did actually open up, and they gave me a fantastic syringe, the growth hormones. Speed obviously isn't much of a help, but it does give me damage. So I'm going to go for something very specific here. I'm going to take the Brother Bobby. I have Little Steven. There are 3 familiars that can contribute to the conjoined type of transformation. Now, it's very specific as to which ones actually work. You can't just grab 3 familiars of any type and transform into conjoined. But I know from memory that Brother Bobby is one of those, and Little Steven is another. So who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and grab one more. I'm tempted to grab Guppy as well, but I'd rather save this heart for a future Devil Deal, especially since I don't have any Guppy items right now. And for those of you who have not been watching all the episodes, the only reason why you want to grab Guppy items you're not going to use is that way it contributes towards your Guppy transformation. 3 Guppy items, you transform into Guppy, and you pretty much win the game. I'm going to give these mystery pills a try now.
Friends till the end. Puberty. X-lax. Speed.
Speed down didn't even matter. I have so much speed it's irrelevant. The quick version about all those pills there is they practically were useless. That's all there is to it. I'm going to save the chariot in case I get a blood donation machine later on. I can just go ahead and use it to break it pretty quickly. That way I can get some free stabs in and not have to worry about losing health or soul hearts. Okay, but I almost forgot there is a boss. I'm going to take the left hand, convert that chest into a red chest. If I'm lucky, I'll get a soul heart. And I'm just going to go ahead and give the boss a try. Before I do that, though, here's another trick. So first of all, see the chest is red now. And it's going to stay red, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I won't go back. Now, there's another card on the field, which is the Devil, which gives you bonus damage. I want to be ready for this fight. If it's a champion variant, it's going to be a struggle. So I want to make sure it's as easy as possible. So I'm taking the Devil with me too. That way I can use the Devil and the Chariot during the fight.
The Devil.
That's exactly what I wanted. So it is a champion variant, but it's certainly not the deadliest combination here. This Peep, the difference is he starts with his eyeballs out immediately. Usually you have to fight him and then they start popping their eyeballs out. That's pretty much the only thing that's different about it. Now this champion CHUD is a lot different because he's ridiculously fast. In fact, I'm going to make sure I win here. Thanks to the Chariot. And I may as well grab this because I could stab myself one additional time at a blood donation machine. Now, I'm going to take the left hand. I'm going to say goodbye to the Crow Heart. This will be a good source of soul hearts, and I don't have to hold it with me the whole time and only get red chests. I can just save it for when the brown chests appear, then pick it up, and then convert them all into red chests. Now, I did not get the option to re-roll that treasure item, so I'm going to work my way back. could grab the Hanged Man. In fact, that probably is the best option, thinking about it a little bit harder. It is possible they can give you treasure items in the middle of a pit. And the only way to get it is with flight. I got Curse of the Lost, but fortunately Yo Listen is going to help me find the treasure rooms, or the secret rooms rather. So I made a terrible mistake. I was about to double back and drop my left hand trinket, but I forgot. Now the good news is, at least I don't have to spend 4 keys opening all this up, but I have a lot of keys to spare. I could have gotten away with it. Hopefully I'll get a bunch of soul hearts though. I made sure to use my card right away, because when you do an arena you get extra charges whenever the round, or rather the wave ends. So if I didn't use it, I would have wasted it. Would have wasted charges. Now I'm still trying to dodge the red chests. If I pick up more, red chests can take you to the devil room sometimes. I wanted to wait so that way it would help. It would pay out with whatever item it has at the end. Yeah, I'll get to you in a moment. Alright, now I don't feel so bad. I didn't even see that spider. Blended in with the background. Okay. You know what? That worked out fantastically. Hopefully I wasn't missing out on something like Cricket's head, since that's only found in golden chests. But either way, I'm pretty happy with that outcome. I'm going to blow up the guy with the coins in his eyes, make sure I hit the other one too, and get a little bit of Devil Deal chance to boot. Gotta leave that champion alone for last. The white ones are invincible. At least until all his friends are dead. And very rarely they can drop an Eternal Heart. Now if I pick that up and I leave this level, I'm going to have 2 hearts. And I'm going to lose my transformation. So I have to get a Devil Deal, or I gotta skip that Eternal Heart. Rather than wasting 3 bombs, I think this is the time to get the Hanged Man. I'm going to get this a little closer as well. Now, I don't want to turn any of these into red chests, because stone chests have essentially the same pool as the golden chests. In fact, I think it is identical.
The Hanged Man.
Now I can float. I kind of wish I had done this 2 rooms later, however, because now I got to kind of waste a battery. Oh well. Alright, 2 of clubs doubles my bombs. I'm going to wait till the end to use that. That way I have maximum amount of bombs. I probably would have been better off just running to the right side. it's pretty easy to get cornered in this game. Buy the treasure map, and I'm also going to buy this soul heart. With the treasure map, as long as there's no Curse of the Lost, I could see at least the layout of the map. I won't know what's beyond, but I'll at least know like where the dead ends are. I'll hang on to the death card and obliterate any difficult level. Or room, rather. You see how that heart spawned on me? That's the reason why it's not a good idea to run around with an empty heart container when you know you want to stay at one heart. Because things like that, you can't foresee them all. And it is very possible a heart might just bump into you and you've lost your transformation. Now by him flashing green, I know he's going to split into two. So you want to make sure you kill him at an opportune time when you're not totally trapped. Like that. That was terrible. That would have been the time to use the death card, but I blew it. In fact, I got some bombs as well. What a nasty little corner there. I'll let the my little buddies take care of him. This allows you to use your activatable item immediately with no loss.
Question mark.
Now, if I had a bunch of money, I would start gambling here. But the reality is I don't. I need to make sure I save it, though, in case I do happen to get a bunch of money later on in the level. Problem is I have to remember to destroy it later on, because... well, if I don't have enough money, I want to make sure I get plenty of pickups from blowing it up. Now, instead of dropping a bomb there, those green guys were going to destroy that tinted rock anyway. I didn't have to do that. Here we go. I need a devil room. That way I can grab the eternal hearts. The odds are not in my favor. Gish is probably the easiest boss for the depths. He only spawns if you've... I think if you've defeated the depths X number of times, whatever number that might be. But either way, he's a piece of cake. He's like a monstro without the spread fire. And no surprise, no devil deal. Now, unfortunately, Gish does not count towards the conjoined transformation, so by having this third familiar, it's not going to contribute to that. Now what's left? I still got the fortune teller machine. I don't recall if I've gone to a treasure room yet. In fact, I don't think I have. I'm in a pretty good situation. I'm full of soul hearts, but don't hold back. Keep getting more. Until you're totally full, you may as well keep scavenging for soul hearts. Once you hit the womb and beyond, the tables can turn so quickly. Now this is where the battery comes in handy. You see how it now has 2 layers? It's because the battery I bought on sale for 7 cents earlier, it's now charging up and going beyond the threshold. That means I'll ultimately be able to use it up to 2 times. I could even save it for a boss room, use it twice, and then that way I'll have an extra card for the boss. Now where is that treasure room? And don't be afraid to shoot those projectiles. Some people think, oh no, missile's coming, and they start running, but you can destroy it. Just be wary because it does bounce around when you attack it. This is another situation where using that headless card that I used earlier, would benefit me because I could use that to grab this chest right here. Oh, I've been here before. Okay, now I'm officially capped. Things are looking good. Hey, buddy. There you go. Yeah, you can go through the corners there. You don't have to worry about that spike necessarily, but it is a little more dangerous going through that tiny area. So I can utilize this combination here. A chariot, grab the fool, walk in. And use the fool, and I just went through the curse room with dealing, or rather receiving, no damage. Now I'm still missing the treasure room, I'm pretty sure. Problem is, I don't know where it is. But that's the joy of Curse of the Lost. It can sometimes just ruin your day, but it can also just be a big fat inconvenience, which is kind of where it's at right now. Oh, treasure room, where are you? Hello? Must be getting warmer. Okay, that was pretty reckless. I was watching the Yo Listen. I thought he was heading for a rock with a crawl space on it, but it's actually just a tinted rock. But, I was about to say I could get my soul heart back, but not this time. Okay, now if I had the Hanged Man here, I could avoid spending 3 keys. And I could grab those extra keys there all in one go. That's alright. I think it's worth it. No regrets there, that's for sure. Okay, this is the devil room. And that's great because I missed my chance, but thankfully these red chests brought me in. So the option I'm going to go with, I kind of want to go with both. But the thing is, the Cambion Conception is based upon how many times you get damaged. And I'm pretty much like a little bit past the halfway point. I'm not going to get damaged that much to spawn very many familiars. I will, however, take the Gimby. Every time you kill an enemy, there's a chance you'll get a half heart. It's not why I'm getting it though. Every time you get damaged, there's a chance you'll drop a soul heart. That's why I'm getting Gimby. Okay, this is great. I got a re-rolling machine. I'm going to use the 2 of clubs now, since I'm going to spin some bombs. Now the only reason why I'd entertain a fly item like this is if I happen to have 2 others. That way I could transform into Beelzebub. But no, not this time. I'm going to pick this up and put it back down. If I pick up 3 books, I transform into the Bookworm transformation, which shoots 2 tiers instead of 1 every so often. Nope, don't need it. I need it. That's awesome. Cricket's Head is one of the highest damaging items in the game, so I'm glad I took the extra effort to try to find that treasure room there. It's going to pretty much solidify my victory. Now I just need to make sure I go and grab the left hand and make sure I bring it to the next level. I could also grab this heart. In fact I will. That way I can get another devil deal later on. And I do have a little bit of money here, but my soul hearts are pretty much capped. So I'm going to blow it up. Monkey Paw, if you have a half heart or less, or rather half heart exactly, with no soul hearts and no dark hearts, then it gives you a dark heart when you get hit, if that's all that remains. I don't need it because I can't utilize it. I'd have to be near death to utilize it at this point. And I don't want to lose all my soul hearts. Okay, there's the left hand. Now I got to make my way out of this dungeon, not knowing where to go exactly. I've totally lost track. So I'm going to be wandering around like crazy. So I apologize in advance as I continually go the wrong way. But we'll get there. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Thanks to the treasure map, I now see all the dead ends. I can just head straight for the treasure rooms and the exits without going in the wrong way unnecessarily. However, for this layout, there's only 3 ways I can go. So it's not going to help me that much. It would be nice to target the portal first, but when there's so much stuff on the screen, you just have to deal with it and wait for it to despawn on its own, or target it last. Perfect, I got the Joker card, so now if I don't get a Devil Deal this time, I could use it, or I could save it for another room. This trinket reminds me, I need to drop the left hand in case I find some golden chests. That's not very common, but greed can drop the Steam sale. And if you happen to find a second Steam sale, then the shop is free. I've broken the game doing that on one of my videos. Gotta be patient. I wanted to go in there and just attack him to stop him from shooting in all directions, especially since that portal is still going. But I knew if I took my time, I could handle it. Now there's another damage item I'm looking for. It's Steven's head. Just called Steven. So I'm going to keep these chests, especially since I'm capped on soul hearts. And let's see what I get. Little bag of pills, one of my least favorite items. That would eliminate all cards and turn them into pills. You could hold 2 pills from then on, but it's almost never worth it. It's pretty much the item that I always pick up whenever I have Curse of the Blind. And look at that. I got hit, and Gimpy's already taken effect. Now, I want to use the Ace of Spades right now. That way these treasure chests turn into keys along with all the other items. However, that would also turn the Joker into a key, which I don't want to do that. So I'm going to cut my losses. I'm going to lose 3 keys by walking out of the room. But I want to make sure that I use the Spade card and not lose the Joker. What I could also do is blow this up. I could also spend my money on it, but my intentions are this.
Ace of Spades.
Now I got plenty of keys. I could grab the Dark Heart now, but my hearts are capped. It's going to replace a Soul Heart. Better off just leaving that alone until you actually need it, or until the end of the level. This is an ugly room. Now, pay attention if you don't know how to deal with this room, because you're going to find it a lot in this game. So the way it works is you bait them, you go through. Bait them. Now, it's best to bait both of them. So you bait them at the same time and then go. If only one goes, then just run backwards again and try again. You can still go when only one does it if you're careful, but it's too risky. So definitely better to wait for two. Now when you go around the skull, don't go down too far or up too far, otherwise the one way over there is going to get you. So now you go down, bait it, and go. And finally one more time. That's how you deal with that. I'm going to hold off on using this card, the deck of cards, because I want to hold on to the Joker. So I'll save it for the womb. Especially helpful since I have the battery. Burnt penny, when you pick up a coin, has a 50% chance of giving you a bomb. Now at this point, I could just keep bringing the left hand with me, but I'm maximized on soul hearts. I'm pretty happy here. I have a lot of keys for chests, so I'm just going to, well, after I get the treasure room, I'm going to press onward. Fortunately, I missed it. It's the only direction I didn't go. This also means I got to go through this ugly trap one more time. The lower your speed, the harder that room is as well. Now, I'm still missing the treasure room. It's actually on the left side. But I don't regret going this way because now I have access to the shop and the super secret room. This is a pretty uncommon shop to get. Wasn't even any items, just, well, minus the heart. Now, there's also a battery I left up here. I'm going to use a card and grab this, that way it's not wasted. You can also use the Fool to get out of the curse room without taking damage. Though it's less important right now because there's tons of soul hearts on the level. In fact, I could be reckless and just not even worry about these spikes potentially. But I can't help myself, I gotta do it right. Pandora's box has a different effect depending on what level you're on. In this case, the depths 2, it just spawns a bunch of coins. Now there's a super troll bomb there because of my trinket. It can spawn troll bombs or super troll bombs if you're not lucky. So you gotta always be aware.
The fool.
Now that way I get out of there and take no damage, but didn't really matter since there's all these dark hearts everywhere. Okay, I got all these extra bombs thanks to the 2 of clubs from earlier. So I'm just going to bomb my way in instead of spending a coin. Or a star, or, let me try it again. Spending a key, rather. This is adrenaline, and the lower your health, rather how many empty heart containers you have, the more damage you deal. This will do practically nothing for Eve in my case because I'm not going to have empty heart containers. I got so many soul hearts. Speaking of soul hearts, if I was low, I would bomb all 3 of these. You can actually bomb 2 at a time, so that way it's less of a waste. One more piece of advice before moving on to the next level. You may remember I blew up the Wheel of Fortune card, or Wheel of Fortune machine. I could have spawned it here and played, and every heart it drops would turn into a dark heart. That's a way to go from 0 to a ton of health really quickly. I've saved runs that way. Whoops, that was careless of me. I should have taken my time, but I just kind of slipped through. That's the dangers of max speed. Make sure you stay in the middle, because these doors keep ejecting monsters, and if you stay too close to the doors, up against the wall, sometimes Mom will slap you with her hand. It's not very common, but it does happen, so you're not safe around the doors. 72% chance, and I still did not get a devil deal. I'm not going to stand for this. I want them both. I pretty much never pass up on the contract from below, and I pretty much never pass on the dark bum. Contract from below will give you 2 payouts per room instead of just 1. And the dark bum converts regular hearts into soul hearts. Now, based upon my run here, I'm doing very good. I got a lot of damage, a lot of tears, a lot of speed. So I'm going the harder route, which is the negative. If your goal is just to win, then just go the path of the Polaroid instead. But I take the negative when I don't have the key to Mega Satan's room. Just because if I fight Mega Satan, I want to make it as easy on me as possible. But if I'm having a good run and I don't have the Mega Satan key, then I'll just move on to the dark chest by taking the negative. Now let's see if I can figure out where the boss room is from here. Could be to the north. I have to be really lucky for that, though. But there's a chance, so I'm going to check it out. Oh, lovely Curse of the Maze. Oh, that was a nice setup. That was great. So the brain thing sucked me in, and it shot me into the tier that it randomly spewed out. Actually, it was these things that sucked me in. The brain shot out, and then the tier got sucked into it. So it was a pretty messy scenario, and there's no way I could have reacted to that. Now, I know there's no boss here, but it's a closet, and sometimes they have rare items. Or it could also be lust. Already deal a ton of damage. I'm going to save the chariot in case things get dicey. Nope, I didn't expect the boss to be here, but I still wanted to check, just in case. Yes. No. Curse the tower. When you get damage, it spawns a bunch of troll bombs, and it can blow you up again. It's nasty. If you happen to have either Pyromaniac, which heals you when you get explosions, or maybe like the Host Hat, which prevents explosions from even hurting you, then maybe you want to take it. But in most scenarios, avoid Curse of the Tower if you are able to.
Invested?
Yeah, now's the time. This is an ugly room, and I still haven't killed everything. It's so easy to get cornered. These guys are paying for themselves already. Great, one more pretty fly and I'm capped. I have a 100% chance of a devil deal, but I have a lot of bombs, so I thought I'd blow them up. Now, these boss is probably to the very south, but I am going to check this way just to be on the safe side. Nope. Oh, that room looked really nasty, so the first thing I did was try to blow up the way I came from, but I was too slow. at least the negative is helping me clear these rooms out. I want that golden chest, but that mimic is in my way. Now, I've actually never seen this setup before, but this is what I plan on doing. Okay, now the mimic's pushed away. I can safely open this chest. My problem, and it's something I'm trying to work on, is I tend to use bombs strategically. I don't use bombs enough to actually try to blow up enemies when I should be. I mean, I have 27 bombs right now. That's a lot. I need to use it more when I'm in danger. But we all have our weaknesses. I really hate those enemies. They're brand new to Afterbirth, and they are incredibly strong. Sisters Vis. When these ladies first came out, they were immensely strong. They had so much health, it took forever to kill them. Now I feel like they've been nerfed in the other direction. They're pretty weak. As long as you know what you're doing, they'll die pretty fast. Now this will give me a soul heart up rather, and a bunch of keys. Now, I got the strength card during this room when I used the deck of cards. I could potentially use it to steal a devil deal. Oh my. That on the right side is called Mega Blast. It's arguably one of the best activatable items in the game. In order to unlock Mega Blast, you have to defeat Mega Satan with every single character. That also includes the Lost and the Keeper. So I don't know if this will work for sure, but what I'm going to do is, well, come to think of it, I mean, I wanted to take the Void and then take the Mega Blast and then use the Void to get rid of it. That way I can use the Void with less charges, but that's going to cost me 6 soul hearts. That's a lot. I'm just going to take Mega Blast here and claim victory. And of course I got hit on the way. Although I wasn't even thinking. I could have used the strength card to steal something. I blew it. I totally blew it. Oh well, I even talked about stealing a devil deal, and I guess Mega Blast was so surprising to see that I completely forgot. The Mega Blast, it's a very rare item. It's in the Devil Room pool, but it's set to not appear as often as the other items. It's one of the few 12 charges in the game. And this is why they don't want you to get it. This is why it's rare. Use it in multiple rooms. Just keep going. Don't even think about it. Just go. But watch out for traps. Like that. I'm going to wait for it to wear off. It's a little bit too dangerous there. But look at that. I'm all the way at the exit. Also, batteries do not fully recharge it. But hey, it's close enough. Now, I could just use this during the mom fight. Or rather, the fight with It Lives. But I could also use it to clear several rooms in the next level. So I'm going to hold off. And I'm going to see how the fight plays out. If I can handle it, great. If I can't, then maybe I'll throw out a Mega Blast. And I'm not popping any mystery pills during this, because if I get teleport and it teleports me to the I Am Error room, I don't get to choose if I go to the Cathedral or Shale or not. It's too risky. Always take out the eyeballs first. Oh, I wish I had some more range. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just take her out. I'll save Mega Blast for Shale. Oh, that's right. Thanks to the battery, I can actually just move on and grab this battery without leaving it behind. I'm still thinking about the devil deal I could have taken for free. I totally messed that up, but mistakes happen, and I'm pretty sure I'm still going to win. Alright, and I have the negative as my item, so I'm going to head for Shale. I always double check just in case. It is on the right side of the screen. Sometimes it's not there though, so I kind of have a habit of opening my inventory by pausing the game to check. Okay, so based upon this map, it's most likely on the far right side because it's very unlikely the boss is right next to me. Question is it to the northeast or the southeast? I'm going to try the southeast because there's actually two potential ways in the southeast where the boss could be. So I feel like my odds of it being there are higher. Sometimes you gotta be patient. I wanted to just plow through that, but the brimstone was there. Now I could have just gone into the boss room, but by the time Satan would spawn in, my Mega Blast would have worn off. So I decided to go ahead and I'm gonna clear 2 more rooms. Plus, look at all these soul hearts I left behind. So now I'm capped on soul hearts. I feel better about my little mistake with the strength card. And now I'm about to get Mega Blast one more time. He's tough. You gotta really stay to the sides if he attacks you so suddenly. Just make sure you stay back. Now if I blow these up, I'm probably going to get all my bombs back, plus more. Wow. That was pretty unlucky. I think I rolled I pretty much flipped... If you were to put that into perspective of being a coin heads or tails, I pretty much just flipped tails there like 6 or 7 times in a row. Gotta clear one more room. So it took me a few seconds to figure out what the safe spot is. It's pretty tricky. But once you do find the safe spot, wait there and then take your time and assess. And you'll get it. Now don't jump the gun when you hit the last button. Sometimes they stick around. They don't actually go away. Now the reason why I'm at 4 here is because I re-rolled my stats earlier using one of the dice items. And that dice item in particular, I think it's the D8, that allows you to go beyond the threshold of what your tiers can handle sometimes. So this will be one of the few circumstances where I'm beyond 5 and 4 is the new maximum. Or if I'm lucky, maybe it's 3. We'll see. I'll go ahead and pop a mystery pill.
Tears down.
Well, there goes the tears. That's unfortunate. What's really unfortunate is Satan. Well, it's unfortunate for him. Okay, I timed that completely off. But let's go ahead and finish him off. Now it takes a bit of practice to work with Mega Blast. You have to aim in the opposite direction if you want to propel yourself forward. But if you think yourself as a rocket, it makes it a little bit easier, because you may as well be a rocket. When you die with Guppy's Collar, you have a 50% chance of resurrecting, but you only come back with a single half heart. So I mostly just grab it for the sake of being 1/3 of the way closer to transforming into Guppy. Now an amnesia pill here would kind of suck, so I'm just going to press onward. Now I already know where the boss is. It's very unlikely to be close to me, so I know that it's not on the right side. Because the last room on the right side is a big room, and I know the lamb spawns in a small room or a regular sized room. So it's extremely unlikely to be the right. So I'm going to start heading to the south. Thanks to the treasure map, that's going to save me some pain. Secret rooms are a lot harder to find on the dark chest because there's no layout in the room that will suggest that there's a secret room there. Like sometimes there's like a pit on this side and then 2 doors here that makes it obvious. But in this case, that's not the situation with the dark room. The terrain's always the same. Oh yeah, I could also save myself a little... Well, I could save myself a square and dodge one of the rooms by doing that. Okay, being on the dark room in the chest, when you open up chests past the first room, you can get treasure items. Now on the chest, you get 4 treasure items at the beginning. The dark room, you don't. But regardless, once you're past the first room, any chest that spawns will have a treasure item. So this right here, this will give me piercing tears and spectral tears, but it'll make my shot speed horrible. The fruitcake will give me a random tear effect. Now, just because of my short range, this will be one of the few times I decide to skip the dead onion. Come on, Dark Bum. Not what I wanted. Now, if I really needed money for some reason, I can kill Super Greed last, because he might drop a quarter if he's the last one dead. Kind of hard to choose who to kill, though, especially when they're in your way like that. And nope, it was just regular Greed who died last, and he dropped the Steam sale. That's my second one. Shops would be free, but the problem is there are no more shops. I should have been moving. What I was trying to say is when he starts using all of his legs, just make sure you're as far back as possible and stand still, because it's kind of a random number generator check. You have to hope that you don't get hit. But then once he vanishes, he's going to start stomping you one at a time. That's when you need to start moving really fast. Because that part's not random. He's going to aim right for you. Just keep moving and you'll avoid it. Thanks to the contract from below, I'm getting bonus items each time here. Now, I don't want either of these. I don't want the body, because if I grab that, I'm going to gain 3 heart containers, and I'm going to lose my transformation. I don't want number 1, because it gives you a crazy amount of tears, but my tears are practically maxed here. And it also shortens your range a lot. I already have short range. That would hurt. So I could just Mega Blast the lamb, and that would be the end of it. But I have enough health. Then again, my game might not end with the lamb. The void may appear potentially, and I'll want my soul hearts at that point. So I'm actually going to continue, and I'm going to charge up the Mega Blast. Okay, it's ready. By the way, if you happen to keep the we need to go deeper shovel here, you could actually dig these up and get some items out of the deal. They're also involved with unlocking the Forgotten character. I recommend you look that up. It's an elaborate way of... It's the only way, an elaborate way of unlocking him. Alright, say goodbye to the lamb. So the strategy here is to ruin his day. Maybe wondering why there's an extra beam there. That's probably has to do with the fruitcake. That does random tier effects. They do also apply to your Mega Brimstone. Oh, no portal. Well, that's a little disappointing. I was hoping I could plow through the void, but that's how this game is. This game is one complex slot machine, pretty much. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I know that these episodes, they can be a little bit time consuming, since after all they're usually about an hour and a half on average. But there's a lot to learn, there's a lot involved, a lot of strategy. So if you learned something new, please like this video and subscribe if you want some more. See you on the next one.